Department of Instrumentation and Control. Today's our topic is stability analysis in the Z domain using the Roots-Lucas method in the unit number 2, discretization of the continuous system. In the last session, we will study about to find out the stability using the bilinear transformation method and the unique stability test. So, first of all, Roots-Lucas method. This method is preliminary designed to locate the dominant closed loop pole at the desired position in the Z plane and then use a digital simulation to improve closed loop performance. So generally we are using the Roots-Lucas method to locate the dominant closed loop pole. And what is the advantages of the Roots-Lucas method? Using this method, we will identify the location of the poles and zero for the particular transfer function, and then we have to decide that this type of system is stable, unstable, or the marginally or the critically stable. Okay. So, whenever we study in the control system, the characteristic equation of the continuous time system is 1 plus g of s h of s that is equal to 0. Now here we have dealt with the discrete system. So the characteristic equation in the discrete system is 1 plus g of z into h of z that is equal to 0. Or we can write the equation like this manner: 1 plus g into h of z that is equal to 0. Simplify this equation, we can get g into h of z that is equal to minus 1. If we have to find the mode of this equation, we can get 1. And the equation of the angle for this particular transfer function is angle of g into h of z that is equal to plus or minus 180 in this bracket to k plus 1, where the k is varied from 0, 1 to up to n. So using this method, first of all, we have to derive the characteristic equation in discrete system. Now the next one is we have to consider the following digital system. Okay, so this digital system is given where R of t is given is our reference input and C of t is our output. After that, they will given the integral controller, and the equation of the integral controller is kz upon z minus 1. In this multiplication, they will given the another block, that is the g h of s is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus ks upon s, and the again block is given gp of s that is equal to 1 by s plus 1. Here you can see that the feedback element loop, the value of the feedback element is the unity feedback. Now we have to find the system stability using the Roots-Lucas method. Now here you can see that we will deal with the discrete system. Now what is the step to find out the Roots-Lucas method for the continuous system? As we know, the first step is we have to find the number of poles and zero using the transfer function. After that, we have to find the center of the system. Okay, then angle of the asymptote. After that, the next rule is we have to find the breakaway point, and then we have to find the value of s, and using this value we have to find the value of k, and using this all the value we have to draw the Roots-Lucas on the graph, and then we have to identify that this type of system is stable or not. So same rule is applicable for this discrete signal. So first of all, here you can see that the integral controller block is in the Z domain, but the block of g of v, h of s and gp of s is in the s domain, means it is the continuous time system. So our first target is we have to convert this continuous time system equation into the discrete time system. So for that, we have to take z of g h of s into gp of s that is equal to z of, in this bracket, 1 minus e raised to minus ts by s into 1 upon s plus 1. Now as you know, the z transform of 1 minus e raised to minus ts is nothing but the 1 minus z inverse. Now our next target is we have to find the transfer, we have to find the z transfer of this equation 1 upon s into s plus 1. As we discussed earlier in the earlier topic, so first of all, whenever this type of equation is given, our first aim is to find out the value of a and b using the partial fraction method. To simplify this equation and apply partial fraction, we can get a is equal to 1 and b is equal to minus 1. Put the value of a and b in this equation and we can get 1 minus z inverse is as it is, and z of the value of a is 1, so 1 by s minus 1 upon s plus 1. Now we have to z transform of 1 by s. It is nothing but the z upon z minus 1 minus s it is, and the z transform of 1 upon s plus 1 is z upon z minus e raised to minus t. Now simplify this equation. Here you can see that the two terms is cancel out, z minus 1 upon z into z upon z minus 1. It becomes 1 minus z minus 1 into z upon z into z upon z minus e raised to minus t. Here z is cancelled out and we can get 1 minus e raised to minus t upon z minus e raised to minus t. Okay. So this is the z transform of the continuous time signal. Now here again we can see that in this block diagram the three block is given. G1 that is integral control, G2 that is GH of s, and G3 that is GP of s. So using block diagram reduction technique, rule number 1, whenever more than one block are connected in series connection, we can simply multiply this block gain. So here the block gain, two block gain is here and one block gain is given in this equation. So we can multiply this gain and we can get G of z that is equal to kz upon z minus 1, that is our integral controller, into 1 minus e raised to minus t upon z minus e raised to minus t. Okay, so this is our G of z. Using this diagram, block diagram, as you know the value of the feedback element is 1, so h of z is 1. So here the root locus is plotted by using G of z into h of z into h of z is equal to 1. So next is we have to find the root locus. So here you can see that in this equation of G of z, the term t is given. What is the t? As we discussed earlier, t is our sampling period. So here you can see that in the block diagram, after the summing point, they will given a switch. Okay, so they will given a time. So we can consider for here t is equal to 0.5 seconds. Okay, so put the value of t is equal to 0.5 seconds in this equation of G of z and find the value of. So we can get 1 minus e raised to minus 0.5, that is equal to 0.3935 into kz upon z minus 1, as it is in this another bracket z minus, and the value of e raised to minus 0.5 is 0.6065. Clear? Okay, so this is my G of z. Now here you have to find the root locus, so apply the rule number 1, find the number of poles and zeros in the poles. For this pole, we have to consider the denominator. Here z minus 1 and z minus 0.6065. So number of poles is 2. And in the numerator, the number of 0 is 1. So n is equal to 2 and m is equal to 1. Now next step is we have to draw a root locus. So here location of the poles and 0. So the first pole location is z minus 0.6065, that is 0.6065. The 0 location at the 0 point and 1 pole is z is equal to 1. Okay, clear? So the one pole is missing. You have to draw z is equal to 1. That is our one pole. Now the next one is find the n minus m. So simply 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1. That is our number of asymptote. Now find the angle of asymptote. The equation of the angle of asymptote beta is equal to 2x plus 1 into 180 upon n minus m. Now how we consider the x? So the x is equal to n minus x will be starting from 0 to n minus m minus 1. Here the value of n minus m means 2 minus 1, n minus 1 is equal to 0. So we have considered only one point, that is 0. So put x is equal to 0 in this equation. We can get the angle of asymptote is 180 degree. There is no other possibility for the angle. Now the next is we have to find the centroid of the system. Okay, now here you can see that in our example that the angle of asymptote is 180. So there is no need to find the center point of the system. So for this particular transfer function, centroid does not matter. Okay, so we have to no need to find out the centroid of the system. Now next one is, as you know what is the characteristic equation, it is 1 plus g of z h of z that is equal to 0. Okay, so 1 plus 0.3935 kz upon z minus 1 z minus 0.6065 that is equal to 0. Simplify this equation, put the k as a subject and we can get k is equal to minus z square minus 1.6065 z plus 0.6065 upon 0.3935 z. Now we have to find the breakaway point. What is the equation of the breakaway point? That is the dk by dz is equal to 0. So we have to differentiate the k with respect to z. So what is the formula? The numerator as it is and we have to take the differences of the denominator minus the denominator as it is and we have to differentiate the numerator and the denominator square and then simplify this equation. We can get dk by dz is equal to minus z square minus 0.6065 upon 0.3935 z whole square is equal to 0. As you see the denominator is becomes 0, we can get z square is equal to 0.6065. Now the next one is we have to find the value of z. So we can get z is equal to 0.7788 and z is equal to minus 0.7788. Now we have to decide which point is valid and which point is invalid. So using this root locus plot, if we consider the root locus area and the not root locus area, so whatever value we can get, both values are valid. Okay. So one value is our the breakaway point and the another value is become break in point. Now the last step is we have to draw a root locus using this value like an angle of asymptote, centroid, number of poles and 0 and then the value of z. Okay. So we have to take a graph paper using the real and imaginary axis. Now we have to draw the root locus. So here you can see that this circle is our pole, 0 and we have two poles at z is equal to 1 and z is equal to 0.6065. Now we have to draw a break-in point and breakaway point. So here you can see that the 0.7788 is our breakaway point and continues the circle completed. The point is break-in point, that is minus 0.7788. Now the necessary condition for the discrete time domain is whatever root locus is in this unit circle. So here you can see that we can get 2 points in the unit circle. So this type of system is known as the stable system. So using the root locus method, we have to also find the stability of the system as well as the location of the poles and 0 in this system. Okay, so what we can do, first of all we have to convert the S domain transfer function to Z domain. After that, we have to find the characteristic equation. Using this equation, we have to find the number of poles and zero, centroid, then the breakaway point, angle of eccentric, and the valid breakaway and the break-in point. And using this all the values, we have to draw the root locus and find the stability of the system. Okay. Now the last step is here. Critical value of the gain KC is the point where root locus crosses unit circle. That means -1 point here. So we have to find the value of critical value of K. So in this our equation we have to put is equal to 1. Now substituting z is equal to -1 using the unit circle. So put the value of z is equal to -1 and simplify this equation. We can get Kc is equal to 8.165. So this is the critical value of the gain of this particular system. Thank you everyone.